The Taylor Soloff Memorial Endowment was founded in July of 2017 after Taylor lost her 3-year battle with ovarian cancer in 2016. She was very smart, compassionate, showed a ton of bravery and resiliency through all of this. She also worked during this as a dietitian on the oncology floor at the Carolina Medical Center in Charlotte, and she saw the bravery of all the survivors that she was working with. The purpose of the endowment is to support patient care initiatives and to improve the quality of life for cancer patients and their caregivers. Just on a side note, her husband Jesse worked as an intern here before his senior year at North Carolina. He is 31 now, in the media department, and worked very closely with Lauren.
Thank you, Joe. Meredith?
Joe, no Aaron Judge in the lineup just today?
No, I'm probably going to give him a couple days off to see if that's something that helps him, try to refresh him and get him going. He's played in a lot of games, and probably going to give him a couple days off.
Is there anything physically wrong with him?
Just, I think at this time all players are a little bit beat up. But, no, I just feel like it might be time to give him a couple days.
What were you seeing, whether it be in the field or the at-bats, that tells you now is a time where he might need a couple days?
I just thought that, he's been missing some pitches that he's usually, was hitting in the first half. And sometimes just a couple days away can refresh a guy and get him back on track. It's not what you really want to do. We tried a lot of different other things, and so we're going to try this.
Has he expressed at all that he's maybe fatigued, that he maybe needs a day or two?
That's not something Aaron would ever do. So it's my part to watch him and to do what I think is best.
And when you say couple days off, does that mean you would not use him to pinch hit in a game, or
probably just give him a couple days off?
Who else? Hokie.
Joe, it seems like he's been getting treatment on one of his shoulders a lot. I mean, is that something that has been impacting him, you think?
We've talked about it a number of times, and he says no. He doesn't think so. And that's another thing you look at it as a manager. He's a tough kid, and he wants to be out there every day for his team. So I'm figuring the rest will probably help all of his body. And that's why I'm choosing to do it.
Sweeney.
Joe, your history with him is relatively short. How did he take this? What did you read from his thoughts, reactions?
He never wants to sit. He's got some of those character traits of number 2. When you ask him how he is, he's always good. So those are things that you have to read through, and maybe being around 2 so often, maybe I learned something.
Kenny, sorry.
Sure, I remember going a few years back when Curtis Granderson was here. You gave him a couple days, and he and Kevin Long just went at it in the cage. And is this kind of a work couple days?
Those are other things that we will definitely try to do to try to get him going. I told him today, just take today off. Let's just take today off and rest your body. I think that's important. And then we'll get back to work.
In the back left, Joe.
Joe, you were saying last week that Jaime's had a little bit of a hard time with the back and forth, getting traded twice in a week. Do you sense he's getting closer to kind of establishing a rhythm here and getting into a little routine?
This is probably the most consistent his routine has been for a while. So we're hoping that obviously will help him. And it's not like he's, hasn't given us a chance to win in his starts. He definitely has done that. So, we're looking forward to a good start for him tomorrow and get him on a roll.
Roger.
Joe, just with regard to Judge, could you envision him as a pinch hitter tonight, or is it like?
My thought process is I'm going to give him the day off. I just want him just to take a mental day and a physical day and just rest. Just rest. So he hasn't had many of those days, and I think in the long run this is going to help us.
And Joe, as you look at the Cleveland lineup, how do you see the impact of their acquisition of Jay Bruce?
Well, it gives them another big power bat, especially from the left side, and it's a difficult lineup to navigate through because of all the switch hitters and the quality of the switch hitters. So it just adds a big left-handed bat to their lineup.
Neftali.
Joe, these two series, which is Cleveland and Boston, how important is for the team to win those? Because it's looked like a text in what can be potential playoff.
Well, I mean, you look at this as a very tough week, but the thing is you can't look past these 3 games because of the 4 that are looming. You got to go one day at a time here. And facing a very tough pitcher tonight, Corey Kluber. Can't miss his mistakes because he doesn't make a ton of them. But we're throwing a very good guy in Sevy, so it should be quite a matchup.
George.
What do you got on Holiday?
He's continuing to rehab. He might go to Scranton for a few days. We're going to take a look at that. The weather hasn't been cooperating a whole lot in Tampa, so that's something we're going to look at.
Eric and Brian.
Joe, did you ever get an explanation on the replay decision from yesterday?
They thought that it didn't impact the throw. It's not something that I agree with. I'll pay the fine, and I lose.
Joe, do you have any update on the appeals of your catchers?
Nope, not as of right now.
The way this is going, are you concerned that one or both might miss that Boston series coming up?
I mean, it's something, that you are worried about. But again, my focus is really today, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think we have any word on it yet.
Wally and Meredith.
Joe, do you guys consider just having Romine serve the 2 days? That way you would be sure to have him this weekend?
No, because they have to go, they have the option of appealing within so many days. So it's something that probably will happen.
Joe, I'm sure you're not dying to have to face Corey Kluber, but is there something about that pitching matchup with Severino that gets you excited?
Oh, I mean, I think you're going to see 2 really good pitchers on the mound tonight. And they do it a little bit different, but they also do it fairly similar in a sense. And, when you look at Corey, he's got, 4 really good pitches. You look at Sevy, he's got 3 really good pitches with a little bit more power. You're going to see some movement on Corey's fastball, and he's going to throw a cutter in on lefties and bring back a front hip sinker to the lefties, and they look the same coming out of his hand, but 2 really good pitchers.